Hello, my name is Mary Prasad and this is my first video tutorial how to create faux glass flowers. Now I do have to apologize because the flip video camera that I used didn't really focus close up very well, so here's some still photos. But these are just beautiful flowers, such great detail, and they're very easy to make. So there's my blurry close-up in the video. Anyways, I'm using Tim Holtz and Sizzix Tattered Florals Steel Ruled Bigs die, and also a couple of the Steel Ruled Mini Movers and Shapers Tattered Florals with the base tray to match. What I'm using is this plastic, recycled plastic packaging. So you just, grab some of that, cut it out, and then make your sandwich as usual. So putting it on the die, grabbing my mats, and then I won't show this, but I'm going to just run it through my Big Shot machine. And when it comes out, it's easy to just pop it out. If it gets any little foam pieces on there, just wipe those away. I actually cut these a little earlier. I wanted to make the bigger ones so you could see them more easily than the small ones. I'm using Adirondack alcohol inks. For the first one I used those 3. The second one I'm going to use these 3. I'm going to have all this information on my blog, by the way. And some of the mixatives. I'm going to use silver for mine. This is the blending tool by Ranger. It's the same one you use with the foam in your distress inks, but instead you're going to use the felt applicator. So I'm going to put that on there. And I'm just going to put on some different colors. I wanted the bottom layer to be a little lighter than the top layer, so you're going to see I put a little more of the purple and red, and then the other layer I'm going to put a little more of the blue. And I just use a tiny bit of the silver mixative because it's pretty strong, can be overpowering. Just want to give it a little shimmer. Be sure to mix these up, shake them up really well. I shook it up beforehand, so I only did a little bit here. If you notice, I actually sped up the video so you wouldn't have to watch me pouncing forever. So I'm just going to pounce them and turn the tool, and sometimes I'll turn the flower. Don't worry about it getting on your craft mat. It comes right off with alcohol. If you make a mistake, very simple, just take some alcohol, just common rubbing alcohol, give it a spritz, wipe it off with some paper towel. Same thing with your craft mat. Comes right off. So now I'm going to add a little extra blue to make this layer a little darker. A little more mixative. And just pounce it until you get the way you like it. And now I'm going to add a little bit of the alcohol blending solution. This just moves it around and gives it kind of an interesting pattern. So I just kind of look around, see where I want to apply it. You see it makes like, it kind of pushes the ink around, pushes it away, concentrates it in the outer areas. So there you go. I'm going to dry those real quickly after I clean off my craft mat here. And next I'm going to stamp them with some Stays-On ink. So I'm just going to dry them real quick. You don't want to get this too close. You just want to get it dry. When I stamp, I use a foam mat. You can, just buy some foam at your craft store. Stays-On ink. I just picked a really nice, beautiful background stamp which has these little flowers, floral design. Kind of intricate and delicate. I really like that for the pattern for these flowers. I'm trying to figure out where it would go and think it would work for both. Just using my tweezers to pull that off. And re-ink and stamp the second one. You need to use some Stays-On remover to get your stamp clean. I use it with my little stamp scrubber. Just put a little bit on there. Sometimes I wipe it off a little bit first. Comes pretty clean. Okay, there's the finished product. Now I'm going to just dry the StazOn ink a little bit. Then I'm going to add a little bit of ink around the edges. Now you could use the StazOn ink, but for these I'm just going to add some acrylic paint with Dauber. And you can use the Tim Holtz paints, or you can use, you know, the Adirondack version, the either distress paints I showed there, or the acrylic paint Dauber. I'm going to use the black acrylic. And I'm going to use a little bit of a swiping motion to get a little bit of a streak on the ends of these, and here I'm just testing it, getting it flowing. Let's do these real quick. There we go. I put a little bit more on the smaller one. I want it to kind of stand out. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to dry them real quick, and then layer them just offset a little bit. Oh, actually first we're going to shape them. So I just set the heat tool. Be really careful not to get your fingers in this. I set it down and I just warmed up the petals a little bit until I saw that they were melting. Now they melt pretty quickly. And I just used my fingers and curled them. Do not get your fingers in front of the heat tool itself. I'm just holding my hand aside and just letting the petals get in front of it a little bit. It doesn't take very much. Okay, now that they're shaped, I'm actually going to put them together. So you'll see me looking for an offset there. And I'm just going to use a glue dot to hold this on. You could use, you know, whatever favorite adhesive you have. Mini glue dots. You can see me offsetting it there. There. Now for the center, you can put any type of favorite bauble layer you want, rhinestone. You could put a brad in. For that I would use my crocodile. Punch a hole through there, or you could use, you know, piercing tool. I'm just going to do a quick pearl. This is what I did with the last one. I stuck that to my mat, and then I'm going to use this coordinating color. I'm just taking the light color. And you could use ones that are already colored, but I kind of want it to match and have a little bit of a mottled look. This way you can make it any color you want. Just use the alcohol inks and pounce this on just like you did with the flower. So I'm just going to use a corner of that foam and pounce all around it. And then just stick that right in the center. I thought it actually looked a little too small on there, so you're going to see in my stills that I went ahead and used my crocodile, punched a hole, and put a brad through there. And there's a shot of the final product. Hope you enjoyed my video, and please stop by my blog, artbymdp.blogspot.com. Thanks.